if you want to get hot on the podcast, we can get hot on the podcast. Okay. I got no problems with it.
Okay, let's see.
Jared's mumbling to himself, but
he's gonna hurt your feelings, and then
he hurt my feelings all he wants. I'll hurt him right back.
Why would you hurt his feelings right back?
If he's gonna hurt mine, I'll hurt his.
He's not hurting your feelings. He's bringing up things.
Jared again? Okay, I'll bring
things
recording?
up too. Is it recording?
Hey, we can bring. Yes, I can bring things up too.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 82 of Dropouts.
Hey, we can all bring things up.
Indi and Jared are arguing right now, and now is a safe place to talk about it. So
I'm not bringing up anything that's not relevant to this situation. Like I'm not going to bring up like, oh, this is what you did on May 1st.
I'm not going to do that either. I'll bring up something relevant to do with the podcast.
What I'm saying. Okay, or what we're talking about before.
Okay, can Jared have the floor?
Jared can have the floor.
Can we all have open ears and open minds to hear and reflect on what the other person has to say?
And y'all say I didn't bring anything to the podcast. What's this?
But topic. Is that okay?
Topic.
Sure.
This is not a topic.
Okay,
it's a topic.
So Jared's gonna go first, and let's try not to.
Yeah.
Okay, Jared.
Okay. Earlier today, Indi brings to our attention. She's like, guys. She's like, I'm not sure how we're feeling about the podcast, right? She's like, sometimes she's like, it just doesn't feel the same as it was before. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it just like feels like we don't have anything to talk about. And I said, that's because we don't prepare anything. Every episode we wing it and we sit down and we just kind of like are flying by the seat of our pants. Right. And so I said, what we need to do, judging from like what other people do for podcasts and stuff like that, like on other podcasts, they all come up with lists of things to talk about that they want to talk about each person on the podcast individually. So I said, let's do that. Right.
Okay. That seems like a valid thing to say. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Totally.
So we had this conversation. And then, so Zach is like, I already have my list. And he was about to go play tennis before we recorded. And so I said, while you're at tennis, I'm going to make my list. And then Indi had a dinner tonight, like after Zach was at tennis. So we're recording this super late. But in between, she had about like an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours before the dinner. And I said, okay, well, in between now and your dinner, can you make your list of stuff you want to talk about? And she said, sure. And then we just all came back together to film this. And Zach asked if she had her list, and she said,
no. I do not.
Okay. And then Jared said, why not?
I said, because I don't.
And then why? But why? Why don't you have? If we're trying to do better on the podcast and we're trying to work harder at it, why didn't? If you felt like he was very serious in that moment, why didn't you feel the need to do like the small task?
Do I have the floor now?
Yes.
Okay. What I brought up earlier, just so we can lay some ground. What I brought up earlier was a discussion that I felt like it wasn't just my feelings; it was Zach's feelings as well, and I think that they were yours. I was just the one bringing it to air. Just so we're clear on that. I just got distracted. That's literally it. It's not like an excuse. I just got distracted. It's not that I was just like, fuck them. I'm not going to do this. And I can see how you would think that, but I just got distracted. I was talking to my mom for like an hour about stuff, and I just didn't. Okay.
Now, you being distracted is not a new thing. It's something that we're actively trying to work on.
Correct.
Okay. This is the part where it gets offensive and it feels like a big fuck you, is because then when I ask you, why don't you have your list? You just go, I don't know. And you have this attitude where it seems like you don't care.
It's not an attitude, but I'm not going to sit here for the next 45 minutes being like, this and this and this and this and this and this and this, because you don't want to hear anything. You're just going to be like, why don't you have it? Fuck you for not having it.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just saying that, like, I'm not going to sit here for the next 45 minutes being like, well, these are the reasons why I don't have it, yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to be like, I don't have the list. We're here. I don't have it. Let's shoot.
No. Okay. I wouldn't go on for like a 45-minute thing, like tangent about trying to figure out listening to these excuses or whatever. If you literally were just like, hey, like what you just said, you're like, I got distracted. I got on a phone call with my mom for like an hour. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. That's all you need to do or like say. And then I'm not like as hurt or offended by like that, the way you presented that, as I am when you just go, I don't know. And it just like seems like you don't care when we actively had a conversation about making the podcast better earlier. Right.
Okay. I respect that.
And the reason like we had this conversation, and I'm going to be honest, that conversation really hurt earlier because out of the three of us, I put like literally my blood, sweat, and tears into this podcast. I love this podcast. I love doing it every week. And yes, I know I complain about editing the podcast and whatever. That's because who wants to do anything for 6 to 7 hours at a time when you're just sitting at a computer, staring at a screen, and then just doing the same like mundane like task of like cutting clips out and stuff like that. It's a little boring.
I think what he's saying is he does put a lot of stuff together and he gets a lot of topics. So the one conversation he wanted to have with you is just, hey, do you mind just like coming up with some ideas? And then if you say yes and then you don't come with ideas and then you give him an attitude about not coming up with ideas when he was like respectful about just bringing it up, knowing how much he does, like he feels like that's like a slight to him because you did honestly give him an attitude about that.
Okay. I understand that.
And we all talked about being more proactive on the podcast. I've been trying to like post clips more and come up with ideas, and I do like the thumbnails and blah, blah, blah. And we know you're the only person with the best guest reach out. So we're just asking you if you could help us out with that and then coming up with ideas. And we don't want this to be feel like a work thing. Even though it is a work thing, we wanted to feel like we're all coming together and liking what we're doing. I think meeting once a week and talking things out and maybe even hiring someone that like can structure us out is a really good idea. That way, like Jared knows his role, like I know my role, and we want you to find your role, but like also feel passionate about your role and know you have to get the things done and not just like show up and be like, whatever.
I think the issue I have with the quote unquote role that I've been given in the podcast
and
is
wait, I just also want to say it wasn't the role. That was the role that you said you wanted.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm just like bringing to attention like how I feel. Like you were brought onto the podcast to edit and to be a producer. Like that's why you're a part of Dropouts. Like that is your job title. That's what you do for Dropouts. Zach, you're a writer, you're a comedian, you're a host. That's your role in Dropouts. That's also my role in Dropouts is to be a host. But given my social platform and given my reach and given my time in the industry, my role in the podcast was also to be the person that gets the guests. And at some point, I've reached out to the people that I can reach out to, and it just becomes uncomfortable having to reach out to people and I don't want to feel like that girl that's like taking advantage of people. And you also know that I'm a very socially awkward person. Like I don't like going up to random people. I can't do that. It's not my thing. And DMing people makes me uncomfortable because I feel like, oh, of course. Yeah. Okay. Now our established friendship has just been based on, I just want you on my podcast. And like that, I get uncomfortable.
I don't think that's...
I know you don't think that way, but I think that way.
Then why would you assign yourself the role?
Because what else would I have brought to the table? That's like what I thought that I could do, and I'm telling you that it's making
okay.
me
But if you
uncomfortable.
can't DM people, can you like send like cold emails then off of our email list and like come up with a list of names every single week and like checking off and like coming to us and be like, hey, here's a list of names that I reached out to this week and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I can do that. I just don't want to use my personal Instagram to do it.
My thing is, when you've done that and before and we've gotten guests, it's never been a problem. We've always become friends with those people.
No, I understand that.
It doesn't have to be
It's
with
never
you.
been a problem. It just makes me feel uncomfortable that we have to use my...
Well, I tried, trust me, I tried using mine because I didn't want to ask you.
No, I know that. I completely understand that. And it makes the most sense to use mine, but understand how that affects me personally.
I also think you need to recognize it does nothing but help you because you're not doing it in a disingenuous way to use people. You want to have a conversation with people, and we like to bring on people who are interested
people are immediately going to think that it is.
I don't think they are. Everyone that's come in here has always left with like, wow, this is the most fun we've ever had. Like, we should all hang out sometime. And I never want...
Yeah, but you guys aren't the ones on the ends of
and trust me, I understand the social anxiety like side of it. I'm a very anxious person as well, you know, but...
It's a podcast, so I feel like if you're asking someone to be on, we recognize that they have enough talent or they have enough recognizability, and that's not the word,
Recognition.
to be asked to be interviewed. Like, how cool is that? Like, if you think about it from that perspective, if someone DM'd you and is like, come on the podcast, have you ever thought, oh, they're just trying to use me?
Like any magazine article or whatever that's like done a story on you. Like, have you ever thought that they're like, oh, they're just reaching out to use me? It's like, no, they're like, they recognize that you have like built yourself a career
and have an interesting story, and they just want to get to know you better and get other people to know you better and have like a dialogue.
Yeah, I understand.
So does that make you more comfortable with reaching out to people? Because
in a way, but I also like, I mean,
because no one
can tell me all the logic you want in the world. That's just the way that my head works, meaning like I feel uncomfortable doing that thing.
Well, if you can't do that thing, can you find someone that can do that thing?
I mean, I can do that thing just without using my personal.
I mean, well, why don't you just come up with a list of names for me, and then I'll DM them on my Instagram.
My also thing is like, I definitely don't have a set role besides that in Dropouts. Like I just don't. Like I'm not an editor or producer. Like I don't write. I'm not a very like comedic forward human being. Like I don't come up with jokes on the fly. Like that's not my thing. So it's hard for me to find a place in something like this.
I just don't think you've tried to find your place yet. I think if you listen to other podcasts and you're like, oh, these are segments I like. These are things that I like. This is the value I can bring. This is what girls like to talk about. These are news stories. Like that's all the stuff you're able to just search up and bring to talk about.
There just needs to be like a higher, because we're all friends.
I think in my mind, like how you said, we don't want this to seem like business, but like in my mind, it has to. Otherwise, I'm gonna like that's just my thing. Like it has to be treated like a business from like this point on. And I think that's annoying, but I think we're at that stage now where it just has to be treated that way, and it can't be three friends sitting down.
That's fine. But like, how can we? If we all need to hold each other accountable, how can we do that? Like, if you come and say, "Yeah, I didn't do what I said I was going to do," like, and Jared's like, "Why not?" And then you're like, "Just got distracted." Like, how can you be like, "Okay, how are you going to change that next time to make sure that you get it done?"
I don't know.
Because that's the thing. I mean, like we
like
like
if I could figure out a way for me to be able to sit down and get my work done, like I would have done it. Like it's frustrating for me too. It's like I brush it off like I don't give a fuck, but it's very frustrating for me too that I can't focus on I can't focus on TV shows, Jared. I can't focus on movies. I can't focus on shit. Even at the beginning of this conversation, I wasn't focused on this conversation. My mind was on a complete another fucking level. I was like, okay, later on I'm going to bring this up so we can talk about this, and then I'm also going to bring this up.
I think we need to write down like a structure and a checklist, and everyone has to get it done this week. And if you don't get it done, then there's got to be something. I don't know.
There's got to be consequences, but we got to figure out what the consequences are.
I don't know.
You get a pay cut check, cut from your paycheck.
We're not even getting paid for this.
Well, we will. In a like we have a nest egg that's just sitting there.
But I don't want that. But I also don't want. Okay, say you don't do what you're supposed to do, and we give you a pay cut. That's only going to cause more animosity. Between all of us.
That's what would happen.
And like, that's not what I want to do to you. That's not what I want to do to Jared. Jared doesn't edit the podcast one week. We don't have a podcast that week. I feel like we should have the same conviction about, okay, I don't come up with topics this week. The podcast is going to suck this week is basically the same thing as we won't have a podcast this week. I just want the feeling of every week I'm excited to go do this.
I think that I've also like personally been having a lot of struggles with like motivation and passion and like figuring out what the fuck I'm doing, because I just I've been on a steady, like I haven't like changed the speed on my treadmill for the last 2 years. Like I've just been at a steady jog and getting by. And like this, where I'm at right now is like me getting by. Like I'm doing the brand deals that come to me, but I'm not like actively being like, I'm going to do this to impress this brand and make sure like I'm getting the bare minimum done on a lot. Like I'm not actively in, acting classes, and I'm not doing the things that I should be doing to progress my career, because for the last 2 years, I've been either so severely depressed I couldn't do a damn thing. My anxiety has been raging so bad that I haven't known, like, I can't step out of my house. I've either had family shit, and like I know we all go through shit, but I've just been on a steady, like I've not changed the pace of anything that I've done in 2 years. And so it's about putting me back into like, okay, you got to put yourself back into sport mode and act like you're climbing up a mountain again.
And I don't think we can do that for you, because I think we've been.
No, I know. I've got to do that myself.
We've been there for you in every aspect we can. Like I try to push you.
No, I know. I'm not saying.
I try to push Jared too. Like if I see Jared, I'm like, you didn't put out a song for the last month, so what are we doing?
You tell me all the time.
No, I know. I'm not saying that you need to hold me accountable for that. I'm just saying that for myself, I need to learn how to put myself back in sport mode and start climbing that mountain again.
And
like
what is sport mode for you?
Like starting to actively work on my career and doing the things that I find passion in, like going to an acting class, coming up with ideas for the podcast, making sure I go above and beyond when I get brand deals,
and why do you
making sure I'm posting consistently. Like,
why do you think the resistance is there right now?
I don't know, because I haven't done it in so
long. Because I think you're in an incredible headspace compared to where you were. You're in a very healthy headspace compared to a lot of people. And I think if you had a normal job and you were going to be kicked out on the streets if you didn't show up to work and like do what you're supposed to do, like you would have that drive no matter what.
Yeah, I think it's just about, it's not about not because I want to be doing these things. It's not that. It's just about like having to kick myself back into doing it. And that it's like riding a bike. Like once you're on and pedaling, it's just about getting on that bike. And I think for so long, I've been kind of stagnant and just been in a place of like not moving. And I need to learn how to ride the bike again in some ways. And like, that's not something that either of you two can help me with. And I'm figuring that out.
I think that is ways we can help, because if you see someone that has drive, like we can give you tips and things, but if you actively try them, when I've given you tips and things, I've noticed an increase in productivity and doing what you're supposed to be doing and living a happier life. I know that for a fact. So I'll give you things to do. I'll be like, okay, you need some, like your brain is muddled. Write it all down, get it out of your head. Go work out, feel good. Put a makeup on. Take your time to do your makeup, because I know that makes you feel good. And then once you have a clear head, like you have a lot easier time working.
I do exactly what he's talking about, right? So like I totally understand that, where you've been so stagnant. It's literally a law of motion, right? Like anything in motion, will stay in motion, blah, blah, blah. Anything at rest will stay at rest. Okay. So like when you're at rest for so long, it's so hard to get started. Like when I first, like I'm going to equate it to like when I lost the weight, right? People ask me all the time, they're like, what made you finally lose the weight? Because I was just climbing. And I finally, like I stared in the mirror and I hated who I saw, right? And so I'm not saying that you have to get to that point where like you hate the person that you've become, but like that was the kick for me. And then it's all about just persistence or consistency and stuff like that. Like I set an alarm every morning for 8 a.m. to go to the gym, and I'm at least out the door by 9 on my slow mornings. And I always get like showered and dressed for the day. Like I'd never like to wear sweatpants or anything. And Zach, every time, almost without fail, every day I come out of the bathroom dressed and he's like, where are you going? I said, I'm just working today. Because if I look good, I feel good. And if I feel good, I do good. Right. Neither of us, like it is something that we can help. Like we can give you tips and tricks and push you and stuff like that. I'm going to be honest, that stuff is always going to be met with some sort of animosity, because if we give you a tip or a trick or push you in any sort of way to be more productive, I totally understand how that can be kind of like an F you're being lazy kind of thing. Like that's how you can perceive it, because even like when Zach is like, you haven't put out music, you haven't done this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I know it's not an actual FU, but it's just kind of like that's how I almost initially perceive it, right? But this is something that you are gonna have to like just do on your own. So if you truly like want to be more productive and more active in your career, then you have to push yourself, right? And you can't, like, I know they're not, like, I know you actually struggle with them and I know they're very severe and stuff like that, but you can't always use, or you can't use like the depression and anxiety as like a crutch, because you have to find ways, and it's not going to be easy, but you have to find ways to overcome that.
I know. And I know that I have to find ways to, like, I have what I have, and my mind works the way it works. I can't focus on shit. I get sad a lot, and my anxiety is fucking bad. And I understand that. And for so long, I was letting myself just like live with it and like let it control me completely. And so now I don't know. Now that I'm doing my best to take control of my life and actually learn to live it, like I don't know how to do that, and I'm figuring that out. And
I really think something strong for you would be an accountability partner. You write down what you need to do for that day. You block it out. It's not going to be that long. You hire somebody for $10, $20 an hour. You can hire me or Jared. I'll do it for free. Where, Zach, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work on this stuff, and you do not let me touch my phone. You do not let me do anything. If I come up after this hour with nothing done, at least I know that I tried. And I know for a fact, after a week, even if you come up with nothing for a week, you're going to start having ideas, because you're going to be like, I have to do this. Like, there's nothing else I can do. Like, I've been studying a lot about motivation recently, because like a lot of things like writing and doing whatever, it takes a lot of motivation, because I mean, it's a very daunting task to stare at a blank page. But I've always noticed that, I've been reading a lot about motivation, and it's a lot of people wait for the motivation and inspiration to start action, when really action creates motivation. It's opposite. So like, I wanted you to come film yesterday. We got into a little like fight because you didn't show up on time. I feel like you didn't really want to do it. And then you got there. Within 5 minutes of doing it, did your attitude not change about it? And you're like, okay, now you're fully in it and now you're having fun. So all you have to do is get into it. Go for a run right now. You're going to be met with some resistance. But if you put on shoes and everything and then got outside and started running for 10 seconds, I think you're going to finish the run. Like no matter what that is. So I think.
Yeah, it's like playing tennis. Like I don't want to get up some mornings and go to the courts, but the minute I get there and hit my first ball, I'm like, okay, I love this. Like I'm going to play for the next 2 hours.
And that's the same thing about working. And that's the same thing about like testing your brain. Like sitting on TikTok all day, being fed content is only, okay, you're worried about getting distracted. That was your biggest point. There's nothing worse than being fed content that is minuscule, that's not doing anything but depreciating like your attention span. And you know that for a fact, and you can stop that. You can't say that you can't. So if you know that, accountability partner, you call me or Jared. And I don't want this to be a forced thing. Like I don't want to be like, did you do this today? I want you to be like, call me or Jared and be like, hey, I know I've got to get this done. Are you able to sit here, work on what you have to do and sit and make sure I do what I want to do? And I don't want to like overlooking, are you doing what you're doing? And just like a trust process.
I can hire one of you two to be my accountability buddy. Accountability buddy. I would like to do that. I think I definitely need, like I'm thinking about taking on a personal assistant. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe the accountability thing is really actually what I need, but thinking about taking on a personal assistant because I know the way I live and I know that I need help in what I do. So whether that's one of you two that I literally pay to be like, you're my accountability buddy. I'm going to pay you.
Well, I do that for you anyway right now.
Here's the thing. You hire an assistant, right? And if they're with you, like say, because like Zane's assistant is with him all the time and running errands and stuff like that. So like, if you just take a day or like take an hour or two of your day and just be like, hey, we're gonna sit at my kitchen table and we're just gonna work, right? And it's almost like, you know, when you go out to eat with friends and like you want to have like a genuinely good dinner and everybody puts their phone in the middle of the table and it's like first one to touch their phone has to pay the bill, right? You both almost like put your phones in the middle of the table so you both can see the phone, and whoever, like maybe you don't have to like buy them dinner or whatever, but like you both have that accountability of the phone is in the middle of the table so the other person will see when I grab it, you know? And right there, that's your accountability buddy.
No, I like that. To add on to that, I also don't think you need an assistant right now in that form. I think you need someone that keeps you on track, but for what you do, I don't think you need someone else doing it because I think that'll almost enable you to do less.
Mm-hmm.
That's
that
true.
Makes sense.
Honestly, yeah. If you call Zach or if you're like, hey, I need an hour or two, like I want to get work done or whatever, I'll happily take my computer over there with my headphones and work on music, edit the podcast, whatever I need to do.
And like, I think there'll be a grace period, but after like, you know, the rules and there's things you should be getting done. I think there should be a consequence you set on yourself, whether it's, okay, I touch my phone and I do something unproductive. That's $20. I got to send to like a charity or something.
You know what I think would be good? Like moving the place that I'm about to have my third bedroom and I want to create that. I want to make an office space because I can't work in the same place that I play. Like I know that about myself because I get distracted. Like, okay, I do a lot of my work now on the couch. TV's right there. Well, I might as well put on a movie and then I get distracted. I think if I create an office space, I think for you too, like if you create an office space even in that room, it's like a whole new place for you and you know walking into that room, this is my work room. This is what I need to do. And like there's no getting distracted. And then you're with the person in that room. Like if it's literally like two desks facing each other, it's like, okay, both of us are sitting here and both of us can't we can't leave this room until we do this work.
I totally get it. That's why I love my studio. And that's why I like specifically did that is put my desk in that room. Because before when it was in the same room as my bed, I wouldn't get out of bed. I had to make music. I would just sit in my bed and just work in there and then get distracted and whatever. So like,
if we get a couple desks in that extra room, I will go in there and work and we'll both work together. And
that's what you want to do. I would love to do that.
Yeah, of course. I think we need to have a basket outside. That's like the phone basket. We'll put that in there and then we'll wear Apple Watches. So if like a dire thing happens,
get a little mini fridge in there with some drinks. Cause then we can't even leave for drink. Well, I'm hungry. We'll have a snack basket and a mini fridge in there. Hey, make this place look sick. And it'll be a really fun environment to work in. Because we work together a lot. We need to sit down and be doing that.
No, I know.
I think that'd be a good use of the
No,
space.
no, I know. I want it to be us working together and not
Yeah.
me working.
No,
And that's what I really want.
I think that's what we should do with that space. And speaking of something fun, Hollywire actually just reached out to me and asked if they could decorate a room of mine. And I was like,
well, there you go.
There you go.
Well, perfect.
and I can do that. A workspace.
Okay, I feel like we all came to
A good.
a healthier. I know you guys, this was probably a little different than what we normally talk about, but I think it's actually good for people to hear and listen to because this is the way to have a conversation with someone.
Yeah,
hopefully in a healthy way.
I feel good about where we just had the conversation that we just had.
Because if we would have ended it right there with
wouldn't
you
it
guys
been-
being mad at
Try to do the normal podcast, that would have sucked.
No,
so
and
bad.
I am now excited to know what's going into that room. And obviously something I really enjoy doing is interior decorating. I love interior decorating. I could spend, like in another life, I would have been an interior decorator. Now I'm excited to.
You're 19. You can do it in this life.
I was like,
But now I'm excited. I was like, okay, great. Now I have another room I get to decorate, and it's a space that I've never decorated before. I get to be like, okay, now we get to go pick out desks and chairs, and I'm like, okay, now my mind's like, all right, well, I can make this TikTok series of decorating a room and
that room has beautiful natural light.
beautiful natural
I'm
light.
so jealous of that room.
It's a great room.
But there you go.
So
Got it.
one last analogy. I think you have to think about your hours. Your hours.
Like a 9-to-5 job.
No, well, your hours in the day are playable casino chips, and there's different tables around. It's like, okay, I know I can double my money, further yourself in your career if I work on ideas. So do I want to use that hour chip to put on ideas, or do I want to waste it and like put it on TikTok for an hour? Like if you think
Ooh,
of
I really like that.
yeah, if it's like,
That's
okay,
really
I
good.
have this token. I could read this book that's going to help me with business, or I could watch Hannah Montana the movie for the 30th time. Let's play the slots on the business thing.
I feel like
That was rude.
I was like that face said I just
little
got
too-
called out.
That was a little too personal, and I haven't watched that movie in about 2 years. I'll have you know.
But you,
No, I watched it in 2021.
but you get what I'm saying about that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
That's a good way to look at it.
Because it's cheesy, it is. You're only going to live once, and we all are in such a position. I even need to work harder myself. Like I feel like I work hard, or maybe I need to work not as hard and stress myself out less. I don't know what the thing I need to do is.
I think you need to stress yourself out less. I think you work a good amount. I think you just need to stress out less.
I don't know what it is, but
I think it's that.
I think we all
we
need to
both
find
notice that.
value and love our life right now and realize that we're in a great position to put some chips on the table and go gambling on some pretty big wins, you know? Like we're in a very big position to hit some home runs.
Speaking of winning big, the Cincinnati Bengals just
Hey,
won the
good
first
job.
playoff game in 31 years.
Also, speaking of winning big,
Woo! Huh?
Kentucky just moved up in the rank.
What are they now?
Well, the comes out tomorrow. What?
Suck that, Vegas Raiders.
But I know because they beat Tennessee.
That's our next. Tennessee Titans.
What time is it? Okay, now that we realize we're all still friends after that heated talk that turned out to be very educational and moved us along as human beings, which one of you guys is my best friend?
Can I come give you a hug? I need a hug.
Give me a hug?
Yeah.
Sure.
Before we play this, Indy's gonna go give Jared a hug. Look at us evolving as humans.
I'm a hug. I need a hug.
Okay. Whoa! She's actually trying to kiss me, Jared. No.
Ah, my ass. It was just full ass shot.
It was full ass
Damn
shot.
it. I keep doing that.
So
Hey, my ass looks good in this jumpsuit, so I'm all right with it.
Let's roll a clip.
Oh, I am so curious to do this.
Okay, so I came up with 10 questions. Who knows me better?
I'm kind of
Jared,
nervous.
I'm
about
nervous
this.
too.
They're not super hard.
Okay.
So Jared, can you keep a tally? No. Can you both get your phones out actually?
Oh, and write it?
Yeah, and get a blank note. Write it before
Oh.
you say it. That way I know you didn't cheat.
Okay.
First question: what age did I move to Georgia
Oh fuck,
I
dude.
know this.
from Las Vegas? What age?
That's so easy.
I've been really thirsty lately.
I don't
Really?
think I know this.
Are you serious? He says it all the time.
Okay.
You might have to do the math.
I don't know what year you moved.
Come on.
Okay, just you got to answer. Okay,
Yeah, it's
Jared,
not
what's your
right.
answer?
I said 4 or 6.
What?
I don't know.
No.
10.
It was 10.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to Indy because I've always said 10.
Say 10.
But I did do the math, and it was right before my 10th birthday, so technically 9.
Oh,
but
okay.
right here
Oh.
I said I usually say 10.
4 plus 6
He always
equals
says 10.
10. So
Okay, well, Jared gets double points, I guess. Okay, Indi.
That's why he can't. That's why he says like I'm from Vegas and from Georgia because if he was there at like 4, like he's from Georgia, but like he
Well,
spent
I
10
also-
years
But every
in
summer and winter, I also went back to Vegas.
Vegas.
and then
For
you
a few
you
months.
went back after college for a couple years, right?
Like a year. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so-
I lived in both places. Okay. Okay. 1 Indi, 0 Jared. Way to not care about
Fuck
me.
yeah.
Okay. Next question. What was my favorite childhood dog's name?
Oh fuck, dude.
Dude, Jared, I tell you
on.
things about me. My
That's
fantasies, my
so
loves,
easy.
my.
Come on, Jared.
Okay, your favorite.
Come on, man.
I said Brooklyn.
I said Marina.
It was Marina.
Fine.
Brooklyn died. Way to bring that up.
I know.
Also
He
wasn't
said
my childhood
childhood.
dog.
Oh yeah.
Marina died when she was 15. I had her when I think I had her when I got her when I was 4.
I also couldn't
Lived a good
remember.
life. 15's good.
I also couldn't remember Marina's name. I was gonna
She was
say
a German-
I was gonna say Maddie.
She was a German Shepherd, and I wanted to name her Cheeto.
Oh, your mom said that's not.
Every dog that we've gotten when I was little, I wanted to name it Cheeto. She goes, "What do you want to name it?" I go, Cheeto. She's like, "Not going to be Cheeto." And then I said Marina. Pretty good for like a 4-year-old.
That's
That's a really cool name.
I really like Cheeto though.
Okay, next question.
It'd be cool to have an English bulldog named Cheeto, but we'd call him William.
2 Indi, 0 Jared.
Come on, Jared.
What was my mom going to name me if I was a girl?
Oh,
she said this before.
I have said this. You know I've said this.
I
Yeah,
know
he
you
has.
said all of these, and I
You
thought
just don't listen
I do
to
listen
me
to you.
or anything that I care about because you hate me.
I can't think of it.
Write down any name then.
I don't know. It's wrong. I know it.
This is so wrong.
Mine's so wrong.
All right, Jared, what's yours?
Alexis.
Alexis.
Skylar?
It was not Skylar or Alexis. It was Marissa.
Wow, what are the odds? I knew it was something like weird like that. Like I
Yeah.
knew it was someone you knew. I knew it was someone you knew. I just couldn't think of it. It was like Skylar.
Skylar's a good guess.
I know.
That was-
I knew it was someone that he knew, and I was like, "That's so weird that you ended up with like."
Yeah.
I should have thought further.
Dude, my mom is the worst with ex-girlfriends. She'll talk about one. She goes, "I loved how you guys used to just laugh together."
and you're like,
I'm like,
Thanks.
thanks, mom. She's like, I just miss when you guys used to laugh together.
She's
Anyway,
so bad about that.
number 4. So you guys both got that wrong. So is it still
2-0.
2-0? What soda drink was my favorite when I drank soda?
Oh shit.
It's okay.
I'm
No, it would. Well, maybe. I don't know.
gonna get half a point. I think.
I don't think I'm gonna get this.
Okay, go.
I said Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
I
Indy,
think Coke or Dr Pepper.
you got to pick one.
I think it was Coke.
You're going to go with Coke?
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper, Jared! Suck it.
Fuck, I was thinking, you know why? Because I was like, I know that he had a problem with it, and I know that he used to
No,
drink.
that was cocaine.
Right. I know he had a problem with it, and I'm like, it's probably going to be the sweeter one of the two because it's easier to get addicted to like something really, really sweet, and Dr. Pepper's sweeter than Coke.
I just know
Damn it.
Zach loves flavors, and Dr. Pepper has 23 or 30 whatever flavors in it.
Just so you know, this might be even wrong because I'm not 100% sure if this is right, but I wrote down a number.
How well do you know yourself?
How many states have I been to?
Oh,
Shit.
what? Oh, okay.
Whoever's closest
Okay.
gets this point.
There's going to be a little silent moment in this
Okay,
podcast.
that's fine.
And cut.
Why don't you bring up a map? You guys can both look at a map.
Okay, Zach, are you ready?
Jared, what is your answer?
I said 21.
What the fuck?
What?
21?
Okay, Indy.
Oh, I said 8.
All right. There's one person that's a lot closer than the other. The answer was 24.
What?
Oh, shit, I was close.
Really?
Okay.
Sorry that I've been around.
I thought, okay, so these are my guesses. Well, I know that you've been to like California, Nevada, Georgia, New York, Indiana, Kentucky, Florida. And then I thought you'd been
Did
to
you-
one of the Carolinas because of your sister.
I was like, did you only name these places that we've
We've
been
been-
together?
No, and then I thought about
He's
like
never been anywhere with a boat with me.
because I couldn't think of why else you would have gone anywhere. Like I know
He
that those
was
are the
just in
places.
Texas.
All my exes live there. So it's 2-2.
Yep.
Wow, Indy. Number 6. How many fist fights have I been in at school? And bonus point if you can tell me what grade it was in.
I feel like that just gave it away.
It could also be a trick question of none. But
Well, that was going to be my original answer.
Mine was
My original answer was going to be none.
okay, it can be that.
I'm going to stick to none.
mine was none.
It was 1 in the 5th grade.
Fuck.
His name was Jonathan.
I didn't know you'd been in a fist fight.
Wait, what was the fight over?
He was doing something. We were in like the line to leave school, and he was doing something, and I went like this, or something like that. He's like, dude, don't make fun of me. And I really wasn't. I don't know what was happening. And then he just swung, and I dodged it, and then we fell into the desks, and then we were just so close that nothing really happened. And then we both got up, and we both left, and then we both got like pink slips.
Wow, what an uneventful fight.
Yeah, it was very uneventful. But one of my questions. Okay, next question, number 7. And this is whoever gets the most right. What's my Subway order? Whoever gets the most ingredients right wins.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's worth writing all that. I definitely think I have diabetes. Like, I'm so thirsty all the time. I've got to pee a lot. I had ketones in my urine. That's a telltale sign.
I got it. Want to go first?
Okay, Jared?
Oh, I thought you said, do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
I'm going first on all of these.
I know your order because I've ordered it so many times.
Okay, let's see if you do.
Hands off my phone so you know I don't change it.
Okay, me too. He gets a footlong Italian. You used to get wheat.
Oh, I didn't say the bread. Whoops. Okay.
You used to get wheat, but now you get Italian, so that's fair. You've gotten Italian every single time.
Okay,
in the last.
okay, next.
You used to not get it.
Okay, keep going.
Italian, you get ham, turkey, and pepperoni.
Okay.
You get pepper jack toasted, and then you get spinach. You get mayo, and a recent addition is buffalo sauce.
Clean sweep.
Damn it.
Sorry, Jared.
I got the cheese wrong. I said
pepper jack.
American.
No, he gets pepper jack.
I didn't think.
And sometimes I get cucumber.
clean sweep. Clean sweep.
Okay, number
Damn.
8. Who was my childhood TV crush? Hint, I would kiss the TV screen when she came on. She's also been in some controversy lately.
Oh.
Wow, I just helped Jared.
Well, I couldn't remember the name, but now I know the name. Well, I don't feel like writing all that out.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Jared?
Okay.
Zoe 101.
Well, that's
Well,
the
the-
name of a show.
Is it
Jamie Lynn Spears.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all we're asking. Jamie Lynn Spears. Okay,
I just didn't
Jamie
feel
Lynn
like
Spears.
writing that out.
Yes, I did frequently. I don't know how frequent it was, but I did kiss the screen when she would come on it at times.
All right.
Crazy stuff is going on with her right now. We can talk about that later, maybe.
4-3.
Okay. What career/job did I want to have as a kid when I grew up?
Why
what
do
did I want to be?
Why do I know this? But I can't.
I said it the other
know
day.
It.
I've said it twice to both of you.
I know it's something stupid too.
Stupid. Wow. It's my hope and dreams. I was a kid, but I guess that's stupid.
I don't even know what this
Wait.
is. Oh,
Okay, go.
this doesn't even make sense.
Jared?
I said egg tester.
An egg tester. Gotcha. And then Indy?
Vet, because I think it was like something to do with animals, but now I'm thinking it was a garbage truck driver. Or
You're really close.
a mailman.
Yep.
It's a mailman.
No, it's not. It is. I wanted to be a car designer. Come on, guys.
Oh, I knew it was something to do with cars.
No, you didn't. You said vet.
Vet, because I think it was like something to do with animals.
But
No, I said like
You
garbage
said
truck.
vet because it has something to do with
I
animals.
thought it was something to do with delivery. That was my second thing. I was like, I feel like it's something to do with delivery.
Egg tester. I don't even know what
We're
that
both
means.
wrong.
well, you knew I was in love with eggs. As
I
a
knew
child.
you were in love with eggs, so I was like,
Were
maybe
you?
it's something. His
my
favorite
dude.
stuffed animal was an egg.
Year round, I would make my mom
Humpty Dumpty.
have every kid had stuffed animal, had a teddy bear. I had a Humpty Dumpty that I would take to my dad's house when he saw me once a year, and I would cry to go back to my mom holding the Humpty Dumpty the whole time. My mom wrote a little note on the Humpty Dumpty's suit. I used to read it and cry. There's still tear stains on it. Anyway, and then we would do Easter egg hunts year round affair. Okay, 4-3 still.
Yep, 4-3.
This is the last question.
So if I get this,
I have a backup
Then we
question.
just
Okay,
get
for
there,
a
yeah.
tie.
I have a backup question for a tiebreaker.
Okay.
What was the location I first touched girls' boobs? A girl's boobs.
Oh, what?
What was the location?
Shit, that's a good question.
I don't think you've told me this.
Send me your location. Let me see those titties, babe.
I'm thinking. Hold on.
That's a good one. I don't know.
No, he's told me the story before. I know it. There's 3 places I have in mind, and I can't.
I have 2 places in my head.
2 of them are your uncle's house. I remember.
I'm gonna go with the cheeky answer.
All right.
Your mom wouldn't be happy about this one if it's true.
Okay.
I said church.
Was not at church.
Okay. Was it your 8th grade dance?
No. I wish I was getting action in the 8th grade.
Was it something to do with bleachers?
No. It was on a bus,
Oh,
Oh, you have told me that story.
and the girl was sitting behind me,
That's impressive.
and my friend was sleeping next to me.
Did you do this? Do a little
Don't
reach.
worry about what I did.
You reached around and grabbed her boobs?
Don't worry about what I did. Just
What'd you
know
do?
everyone liked it.
Give like a little example.
Jared.
Was it nighttime?
You lost. It was nighttime, of course.
You lost.
I did.
You're not touching boobs for the first time in the middle of the day.
What was your backup question?
I am 75% United Statesian, logical term. What is the other 25%?
Italian.
Welsh.
You say I'm Italian?
You always say you're Italian. Oh, I thought that was a joke question.
No, this is a real question.
Oh, German or some shit?
Canada. My grandma's from Canada,
Oh.
Ontario.
That was fun.
That was
Fun! See that clean sweep on that Subway order? I'm living high on that. Have you guys been seeing all the memes about the MGK and Megan Fox proposal?
no.
This was what she wrote. July of 2020, we sat under this banyan tree. We asked for magic. We were oblivious to the pain we would face together in such a short, phonetic period of time. Unaware of the work and sacrifices the relationship would require from us.
I'd be done reading.
But intoxicated off of the love and the karma. Somehow, a year and a half later, having walked through hell together and having laughed more than I ever imagined possible, he asked to marry me. And just as in every lifetime before this one, and in every lifetime that will follow it, I said yes. And then we drank each other's blood. 1/11/2022.
What's Shia LaBeouf going to do? They drank each other's blood?
They've got a thing about that. Like she calls him Buddha.
What?
Her nickname for him is Buddha.
But why? No, I'm still hooked up. Okay, nicknames are fine, but what's up with the blood drinking thing?
Well, he actually wears a vial of her blood around his neck. So
Okay, but what is up with that? That doesn't answer the question. That just adds.
Apparently, it bonds you, mind, body, and soul.
Good way to get AIDS.
Soul bond. Very Jennifer's body of her.
Very Jennifer's body. I watched that movie
I
recently.
haven't seen it. Is it good?
It's okay.
You can see why it's like a cult classic.
Kinda, yeah. I watched like the unrated version of it just to see like all the stuff that they left in. Very gory
Yeah.
from what I remember. I was like, this is kind of traumatizing even to view it now.
I think we saved this stuff for next week.
Well, none of this stuff is going to be relevant next week.
What is it? Just speed round. Do a speed round of hot topics, and we'll give you our quick opinions.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to Quick Opinions. This is where Jared gives us topics, and we give our quick opinions.
Okay, the ocean exploded and the west coast of North America woke up to tsunami warnings.
That was a little wild.
Did it happen?
Did it happen?
Did the tsunamis happen?
Not like
Mild.
people.
They're not
It
like.
was like a foot. So like enough to like sweep away anything loose, or like if you were on the shoreline to sweep you off your feet and maybe pull you out to the tide, but like not,
So it wasn't
not-
that bad.
Not like
it
a.
was not that bad.
not like
But
a
I
movie
still was like kind
tsunami.
of crazy that happened in California.
But yeah, like if you weren't aware, like I found all that information out like after I went online and searched for it. But like if you weren't aware, like you only got like an Amber Alert that said tsunami.
Did you get the Amber Alert?
No, we're too far from the coast.
I would love to have gotten one though.
I know.
A tsunami Amber Alert? That's got to be an NFT. Just screenshot that and sell that as an NFT.
I don't think it's called an Amber
pretty cool.
Alert.
It's not. It's just like an emergency.
Amber
thing.
Alerts for kidnapping.
But
I don't like kidnapping. I've decided.
so there is a story. Something historic happened in the medical field. A man received a heart transplant from a pig's heart.
What?
Yes.
And you received one from a
I know
pig's
that
face.
can
That's pretty
happen.
cool.
There's parts of the body that you can take from a pig or a cow. It's been in medical practices for years.
Yeah, it's the skin. Usually they do like skin grafts. They've been able to do that with pigs, but this is the first time they've used like a big organ like that. So this
Wow.
could really change things around.
So yeah, they were able to like genetically modify it with like 7 certain like human specific not mutations, like genes or whatever. Put that, and then they're able to work it. But now there's a big controversy surrounding this because the
Now
man,
he's Pigman.
No.
Okay.
They
Fights crime.
He was convicted of attempted murder like way back. I forget when.
How many times?
Just once.
Okay.
But so he stabbed a man and like
Okay.
repeatedly nearly killed him because the man was flirting with his wife. And so now everyone's in this uproar. They're like, why would you use that on somebody that's like extremely violent and whatever and all this stuff? So there's this huge uproar. It's like something amazing happened in the medical field. And now they realize they did it on an an extremely violent ex-convict.
I feel like you would want to do it on someone like that because who probably low-key deserves to die anyway.
Well, not low-key deserves to die anyway. Like, he has a little anger issues. He worked on it. I don't know if he deserves to die now. Seems like a long time ago.
Well,
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He tried to stab them to let them know that he's in love with the girl more, obviously. Would I ever stab someone for the love of my life? No. I would let them take her immediately.
Yeah, I feel like it's
even
a lot easier just to... Next thing. You know what just became the most viewed video on YouTube ever?
I feel like it's a child's video.
Baby Shark.
It is Baby Shark.
Yep, look at us. Winner.
How many?
64 trillion views.
I'm going to say 2 billion views.
She might be closer.
10 billion.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty good.
Zach, I saw this.
Justice, I assume.
Yes. I saw this. You might not be as crazy as I, and maybe Indi, also once thought you were. There was a viral TikTok that blew up where this woman was talking about how sleeping in separate beds has saved her marriage, and not only saved it, it has like enhanced their romance and sexuality together.
That's what I've been saying for years.
And so
mine is more of a I get really hot in bed and don't touch me type thing.
No, but that's the thing.
That's
is
what
like
they're talking about.
Well, not in that situation, but then the comments were flooded, and she was expecting a lot of backlash from it. There was actually
but now
flooded
she's getting
with,
more back shots.
Yeah, I guess.
That deserved that. But there are a lot of comments supporting it, saying that like this was the best. Like sleeping in separate beds, even sleeping in separate rooms was the best decision that they ever made.
What about separate houses with other families?
Because like they have different sleep schedules, or they have they get like uncomfortable or hot or can't sleep next to somebody or blah blah blah, but they still love the person. They just don't want to. They don't have to sleep next to them.
It's beautiful.
And
implement it.
Flooded with comments. I was like, maybe Zach's
negative comments or positive.
I guess if you
comments.
really wanted to spend the night with them, like once a week,
and that's what they do. They said during the week they sleep separate, but like on the weekends they sleep together.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, that sounds like your dream. I just thought that was funny because I was like, maybe
we've both given him shit about it.
Yeah,
often.
Neither of you have watched Euphoria season 2 yet, have you?
No, I'm rewatching season 1 currently.
I'm telling you, skip season 1. You've already seen it.
I'm already 5 episodes in. I've got 3 more episodes.
I'll send you a 5-minute recap you can watch. Season 2, fucking wild.
I've heard the guy who's dingling is in the first shot of the opening scene of Euphoria, because I've heard that's like an opening shot is someone's penis.
It's not necessarily. It's in the first scene.
Yeah, it's in the first scene is what I'm saying. It's like first scene of Euphoria season 2. He actually has a TikTok, and he's telling his parents, he's like, guys, I booked a HBO show. And they're like, oh my God, let us watch it. He goes, it's of my dick.
How is his penis?
They're pretty
graphic. Nice.
They're pretty graphic.
Good size on them?
Remember that locker scene in Euphoria season 1?
I feel like they went they kind of turned up the dial this season.
Zendaya said that it was going to be even more intense and more...
Like every aspect of the show, like the violence, the tension,
the storyline now, right?
Basically, yeah. Like I mean, in the first 10 seconds of the second season, you're in a strip club and you seeing everything.
Is this a high school show?
Yeah, there's an important storyline for that arc, but
I was like, okay, yeah, because I need.
Wait, so were you watching high schoolers?
No,
be nude?
No.
Yeah, you've seen a couple high schoolers be nude.
Oh yeah,
are they underage?
Yeah,
in the show technically. Not in real life.
Is that not a red flag to anybody? It's like we're actively watching people portraying minors having sex.
Actually, now that you think about it, that's really wrong.
Interesting.
That's really wrong. And like this, I watched the second episode that came out today. It's very graphic. There's a scene with like with Sydney Sweeney.
I just don't want anything spoiled.
I don't think it's spoiled that it's her boobs come out in season 2.
Oh well, yeah.
That's all I was gonna say is that her boobs come out. You over dramatic.
Her tits are out in every episode.
But I'm just saying, like, even as like a main character, right? Because you've talked about like that one role that you were gonna get, or that you auditioned for, but like you were gonna be completely nude and like whatever, and like it was like a supporting
role. Did you see that
role. No, not yet. But like,
Julie told me it was already out.
I think she thought it was something else.
But like, even her as a main role doing this scene, I was like, that's fucking intense. Like, that's all.
Dude, there was like one scene. I was just watching it. It was one scene where Alexa Dime or whatever, Maddie's character, and Nate, who is Jacob Elordi.
How do you go back to your boyfriend or girlfriend after a set
But,
and be
like,
like,
dude-
what was work like today?
Full back shots. And I'm like, how do you film that?
Oh, yeah, the 6'5" Aussie was giving me back shots. Yeah, he was dry humping me. We were both completely naked, but nothing was going in, so no need to worry, honey.
Yeah, there is a character in the second episode that like got railed from behind by an actor that was supposed to look like Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones. Like it was meant to be like a lookalike, and I was just like, yeah, it's straight up porn with a storyline. I was like, how do you tell any of your friends and family to watch this show if you're in it? Because like the show is enthralling and it's like it's exhilarating and it gets your heart racing.
Family. I would not. I wouldn't tell my family I booked the role.
But would you do the role?
Yeah.
Why?
I actually really like the show.
There's a Mississippi school that sent home a letter to the parents talking about how girls can struggle with body image. And they suggested that instead of like actually doing anything about it or whatever, like talking with the kids or trying to get them on healthy diets if they are struggling with weight or anything, they said buy your kids shapewear. And even had a form that you could fill out at the bottom of the page to order it through the school.
Like shapewear, like corsets and stuff?
Like, Spanx. And
like Spanx and stuff that would like if you have love handles, it would tighten those. Yeah.
That's what the school recommended?
That's what the school recommended.
Like, a lot of people call them fajas. They're like
fajas?
Shapewear. It's like makes your butt look a little more lifted, your waist look a little more snatched, your boobs look a little more perky. Like shapewear. It makes you look more shapely.
I think that's it for my quick opinions.
Last thing we're going to talk about, Drake had sex with an Instagram.
Hot sauce in his condom.
Dude,
Indi.
did we not talk about
sorry,
Indi?
we
We
did.
literally
We
talked
did.
about
We
this.
did. We spoke about it.
We set up things to talk about, and Indi goes, here's the punchline.
That's my bad. Go ahead. Say it again.
Anyway, the story is, this is alleged. I actually don't think it happened, but it's more fun to think it did. Drake had sex with an Instagram girl, is what the rumor is, or it could be wrong. I read about it briefly. And after he has sex with people, he puts Tabasco sauce in his condom to kill the spermicide. And now she's suing him because she dug the condom out of the trash and tried to put it up her so she could have child support for life by having a child with him, but her coochie got burnt.
I can imagine that.
But now she's trying to sue him?
But yeah, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with this story.
Very smart.
Very
Good
smart.
call.
Like,
Super
what do you
smart.
think? What do you think Drake's body count is? Right? Like, this isn't his first
Oh, it's
rodeo.
in the hundreds.
You know? So like, and he knows that he's
His baby's worth a lot.
yeah. So first of all, Tabasco in the condom afterwards, smart.
That's
That is like
smart.
one.
Even
of the
Jared
smartest-
does that, and because he's a public figure.
Frankly, I wouldn't even throw the I keep it, put it in my back pocket and throw it away where
I'd have like a little Ziploc that I keep it with me until I'm like I can shred that thing or something, you know.
or safely discard it.
Yeah.
Or just
Myself.
like eat it or whatever.
What?
Ugh. Secondly, this is where I don't
That's on
know.
her. She dug it out of the trash.
Yeah, she dug it out of the trash and like tried to pull some fuck shit. But if he pours Tabasco in there, is it not red inside the condom?
Well, it could have been like dark inside the bathroom, and then like right afterwards, and she's
Okay.
like trying to do it quick so she doesn't notice. Like I just got to clean up really quick.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like he's the
see
type
that.
of guy
Also-
that sets the vibe with like red lights, so you wouldn't know anyway.
Oh, good point.
Also,
Cancels out.
there should be laws against women illegally inseminating themselves because there aren't any laws that state that that should be illegal.
That's true.
That should
That's
be
also,
legal.
I feel like a hard thing to prove. There should
But
be
it happens all
laws
the
to
time. Like
protect
women
that. Yeah.
like poke holes in men's condoms, like to trap men in relationships. I'm not saying that like all women do that. I'm just saying that it's like a thing that
No, but
happens,
it
and there
definitely
should
happens.
be
I
laws
hope my
against it
mom
because
didn't
then
do
they
that.
get not stuck with, but then they've got okay now I've got a child that I didn't want and I've got to pay child support and.
So I agree.
Or they
That's
shouldn't
a
have to be
hard
like
thing
if
to
she
prove.
would if she say let's say she were to have gotten pregnant from that even with the Tabasco, let's say that like I don't think he should have to pay child support for it unless
No.
but then he's still going to feel obligated to because that's his child. Not obligated if you I guess you have any kind of morals. I don't know. It's a deeper discussion, I guess, and how do you prove it? I get it.
Anyway, kind of funny is the ultimate thing. Also, Jared, you look like the guy that would have public. What is it?
Sex?
No.
But also,
Oh,
what
you
judge-
look like the person that would have public figure in their Instagram account.
asshole.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
I think I have like artist or something like that.
Thank you guys so much for staying till the end. DM me a picture of your pet if you have one, because that would be nice this week.
Cute. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week on Dropouts. I'm Indiana. That's Zach Justice.
I
That's
realized I was
Jared.
going to get a lot of sad DMs.
That's Jared Music. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Dropouts. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram at DropoutsPod, and we'll see you guys next week for another episode of Dropouts. Bye.
I just realized I don't think we rolled the intro.
Oh, roll the intro music.
Roll the
Okay.
intro. I guess it's the same as the outro, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to roll it twice.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
It's an intro and outro.
Did I say what's up, B-words?
Say it now.
What's up, B-words? Welcome back
Outro.
to Dropouts. Goodbye.
There we go.
There we go. We got it.